Silver Scrapes is the most iconic song in League of Legends. It's played before every single Game 5, or was prior to T1 versus KT this past Sunday, where for the first time, at least in my knowledge of ever watching League of Legends, it was not played. Rather, the orchestral version was. But that is not the Danny McCarthy version that we've all been around that's been used on College Game Day and beyond. That version was notably missing, and I'll be honest with you, it felt like crap. I don't mind the orchestral version being used in drafts specifically. I think there's a perfect cadence for that, especially whenever the commentators are talking as well. It's perfect as background. But the original Silver Scrapes should have been played. The reason I personally believe it wasn't is due to Danny McCarthy's video that he just put out last night, which states that UMG contacted him early on about getting involved with the orchestral version, but when things weren't going well, he opted out. They then sent him further communication asking him to sign off saying that he was a part of it whenever he wasn't. Afterwards, there was a bunch of back and forth legally, but he did not sign on. And to me, this screams UMG getting greedy. Whether that's Riot signing a deal with them, I don't know. That part needs to be investigated further by actual journalists in the space. Danny raises a bunch of good points when it comes to like this guy that's organizing everything, possibly just being AI. A lot of sketchy shit going on around this, but regardless, going away from a staple song that you've used for over a decade in this esport randomly feels odd to me. I don't like it. Riot has a tendency to steer away from things that are culturally relevant to their esports, that are tradition to many fans, just because they feel like, something could be new, could be better. Sometimes tradition's important, and this is one of those situations where going away from it is going to be a problem, in my opinion. It did not feel good, and I want the old Silver Scrapes back. And I hope they don't have an agreement with UMG that this becomes the new standard for Worlds, because dear God, would I hate that. But there's a lot to be investigated here, and I would ask those that are actually journalists in the space, not just the content creators or those like talking about things like myself, if you have some time, look into this one, because this seems a little sus.